Hey, it's Bruno here. This is fantastic. I can't believe how many tests you wrote, and oh man, I'm looking forward to not having as many bugs in our app. Really thankful for your work, and I hope you understand that I really value your contribution to our team. Keiko Corp thanks you. All right, we finished a pretty tough section. I think testing is one of those things that can really stump people and can really frustrate you as well. But we're no longer junior developers here when it comes to testing. We understand their purposes and their limitations. We learned that there are three main types of tests, which are unit tests, integration tests, automation tests. And that out of all these three, unit tests are the easiest to write and also the cheapest for companies to use as a tool for us to minimize bugs. And you usually want to run unit tests with integration tests completely separate in a separate process from something like automation tests. A topic that can get pretty complicated, but luckily for us, there's a ton of libraries that we can use. We also learned all the tools that are available in the ecosystem for us to test. At the end of the day, though, they're all very similar and they all try to accomplish the same thing. Simply test our code, assert some statements, run these tests, maybe spy on some functions, and then see the output, make sure they're passed, and make sure that we have a good code coverage. But we also learned that having a perfect code coverage isn't necessarily what you want to do. You never want to just strive for 100% code coverage because at the end of the day, those are just numbers. Everything depends on your application and what your goals are. So be careful with code coverage. It's really easy to get stuck in a hole where you're just writing tests that aren't good, but you're just trying to get that 100%. Focus on the quality of the test versus the quantity. We learned how tests can be run in different environments. And we also learned that React has enzyme and snapshot testing to really help us out with component rendering. They all made writing tests a lot simpler. Finally, we have a better idea of the testing environment. Tests are simply a way for us to use in development to make sure that our code as it grows is maintainable and produces less bugs as more people join the team and more people touch the code and code lines increase. Using all the tools that we have at our disposal, we're able to be smart about the tests that we write. We're focusing on what is important to test. What are the key features of our apps that we want to make sure we test properly? And we want to make sure that these tests are not complicated. They're very nice and readable, so if anybody comes onto the team, they understand what the tests do. Remember, if a test becomes complicated, perhaps there's something in your actual code that could be fixed. Don't think of tests as something that you do after you finish all your code. Some people actually enjoy doing them before you write your real code, so that it gives you ideas of how to structure your code in a nice, clean fashion. So think about this. Make tests that are of good quality, not just quantity, and write your code so that they're in nice, simple, testable units. Good job getting this far. I'll see you in the next section. Bye-bye.